Hello everyone and welcome back to another very interactive chess game by Jose Raul Capablanca. And in this chess game his opponent was Hermann Liebenstein, who was German-American chess master, and this was from the American National Chess Tournament from 1913. And it happened in New York City in the Manhattan Chess Club. So Capablanca won this tournament and he impressively won the first 10 games. He won 10 games in a row in this chess tournament. So this was Capablanca at his very best. Capablanca was incredible in this year. And before forgetting, Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you very much for following my channel. The new year is coming. Every year is passing extremely fast. Time flies so fast. So that is very depressive for me, but I wish you Happy New Year. I hope that in the new year it is going to be perfect for you. I wish good health and happiness to you and to your family in the new year of 2024. So, okay, let's begin. And this is a pretty impressive chess game of Capablanca, like many of his chess games. So Capablanca starts the game with e4. We have e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, knight to c3, and we have 3 knights game, and then bishop to c5. Knight to f6 is also possible in this position, which is a very popular move, and this is 4 knights game. But in the real chess game we have bishop to c5, and then Capablanca played another popular move in this position. He played knight takes on e5, and this is a playable tactic in this position, and black decided to play bishop takes on f2, which is not the best move. Instead, bishop takes on f2, knight takes on e5 would be better, but this is still better for white. So d4, forking 2 pieces and getting back the material with a tempo after f4, you can see that white has the superior position. So in this position, after knight takes on e5, a very nice tactic, we have bishop takes on f2, and I will try my best to explain why this move is not a very good move. So Capablanca simply captured on f2, so losing the castling rights in between move, capturing the pawn with the bishop and then capturing the knight. But now watch this, white has very strong center, d4 by Capablanca. So knight to c6, but you might also consider what happens if queen to h4, then we have g3, if knight to g4, then king to g2, and actually black is losing here. So after defending the queen, knight to d5, and black can even resign in this position. So how to defend? Knight takes on c7. So if defending with the queen, we can capture the knight. And if something like defending with the king, then knight to f4. And where is this queen going? Seriously. So it is a very difficult position, as you can see. So after knight to f4, both attacking the queen and the knight. So it would be extremely difficult already for black. But in this chess game, we have knight to c6, and actually queen to f6 is also possible in this position. And it looks a little awkward for white. So king looks like it is stuck on g1, but actually engine says this is also a pretty good position for white. So white is going to push the h-pawn, and white is going to be fine, and white can even castle manually. So white still has a pretty strong grip in the center. So okay, knight takes on e5, and then d4 and knight to c6, and this makes things much simple and easy for Capablanca. So he simply develops his pieces, d6, bishop to e2, knight to f6, and then rook to f1, and Capablanca is planning to castle manually, and black can't stop that. So we have castling and king to g1, and white is perfectly fine in this position. And actually white is better. We can easily say that white is better in this position. Bishop to g5 is possible. Rook has the semi-open file. So also white still has pretty strong control in the center. And if white can play bishop to g5, well, that is going to be a very, very sad position for black. So this is by preventing that h6 and then queen to e1 by Capablanca planning to line the queen with the king. So rook over targeting the pawn, but Capablanca is ignoring that. He played queen to g3 and he says, come on, take my pawn and make my day, like Clint Eastwood. So we have king to h8. If knight takes on e4, then knight takes on e4, rook takes on e4, and bishop takes on h6. And how to defend the checkmate threat? g6, and then bishop to d3, and white has a very good position. So if something like rook takes, then bishop takes on g6 is also winning. Okay, so even I think rook takes on f7 should be winning. So this is a very difficult position for black. So not capturing and not falling for the trick, we have king to h8. And actually, believe it or not, but so far Capablanca played the engine moves, the first or the second best moves of the chess engine. And when the game gets more complicated, it is going to be very impressive because Capablanca is going to continue playing the top engine moves, one after another. He was unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Capablanca was an unbelievable chess player. And this game is one of the proofs. So we have, after king to h8, still not defending the e-pawn, rook to f2, which is suggested by the engine. We have queen to e7, and if right now capturing on e4, as you can see, the f-pawn is hanging, so knight takes, rook takes, rook takes. And if defending the checkmate with the queen, then rook from a to f1. Actually, in this position, white has more than one good move, but this is also sufficient, and white is winning actually in this position, and black has a very difficult position. This is even reasonable, in my opinion. So, queen to e7, increasing the pressure, and then Capablanca is defending bishop to d3, knight to g4, forking two pieces, and Capablanca played not moving the rook. He played knight to d5, active move, attacking the queen, so defending queen to d7, and rook to f4. Well, in this position, capturing the bishop with the knight should have been considered, but black played knight to d8. And actually, in this position, knight to d8 was a very bad move. Again, knight takes on e3 should have been considered, but we have, going back, a very passive move. And I don't understand the purpose of this move, but maybe black wants to relocate his knight. So knight to e6 is coming, but as always, Capablanca played the top engine move. So what would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? White has a very strong move. Can you guess that move? So if I give you few seconds, there is a very beautiful tactical idea, which is very simple. It is not rocket science. Okay, so Capablanca played rook takes on g4, deflecting the queen and then landing on c7, forking the rooks and getting back the material. And this is actually winning material for white. And again, this was also top engine move. So giving up the rook and then landing on c7. So queen to d7, queen goes back, and then simply capturing the rook. But it looks like the knight is trapped. Another top engine move, d5 by Capablanca. This is why Capablanca was known as the human chess machine. So in this position, his idea is bishop to d4, and actually it is extremely tricky. It is going to be very difficult to defend for black. So we have bishop to b7, trapping the knight, but bishop to d4, and how to defend the checkmate threat. We have f6. Defending with the rook is not going to work because of rook to f1. And if capturing the knight, then queen to h4, and black is in big trouble. How to defend? Queen takes on h6, checkmate, this pawn is pinned. So king to h7, pushing the pawn check. Well, how to defend? Seriously. Only defense, and then bishop to e3, and black is ready for another game. This game is over. You can't defend this, actually. If you push the pawn, queen takes, well, this pawn is pinned. So, okay, we have bishop to d4 and defending like this f6, but this move is also a weakening move. It weakened the light squares, so queen to g6 is possible, and then pushing the pawn and checkmating the king is the idea. And we have queen to g6 by Capablanca, simply, and then simply capturing the knight. But what happens if queen to f7? Then white can exchange the queens and then save the knight. And white is a piece up, also white is a pawn up. This is all over for black. Black can resign. So after f6, placing the queen in the light square, and then bishop takes knight. And Capablanca played e5, another top engine move, which is pretty obvious, threatening checkmate. So moving the king, escaping, and this is the only defense. Check, king to f8, and pushing the pawn is a tempting move, but Capablanca played another top engine move. He played e takes on f6, and this is a killer move, actually threatening to check the king and then checkmating the king in two moves. And how do you defend that? Actually, defending is impossible, so we have knight to e6, a very desperate move, hoping to escape. But in this position, let's check out the other variations. If g takes on f6, well, white can even capture the queen actually in this position. But queen to h8, king to f7, check, check, checkmate. Black is getting checkmated by force. So after e takes on f6, if queen to f7, then we have f takes on g7. What else? And then rook check, capturing the rook, and then we can promote the queen with check. And this is all over. So anyway, after e takes on f6, knight to e6, because of this desperate position, Capablanca chops the knight off and black resigned. A very impressive chess game, because actually, believe it or not, but for 20 moves or something, I'm not kidding, Capablanca played the top engine moves. Unbelievable. So it is a very simple chess game. Of course, it is not extremely complicated, but this shows that Capablanca was really the human chess machine. So the possible continuation, I mean, what else? Queen takes is out of questions because of queen takes on g7, checkmate. So let's say rook takes on e6, but this is also getting checkmated. Check, check, and then checkmate. There is no defense. So, okay, this was the very impressive chess game of Jose Raul Capablanca in the American National Masters chess tournament from 1913, which he won this tournament. And he won 10 games in a row in this tournament. So he was incredible. This is Capablanca at his very best. So, okay, that's it. So I hope to see you again with more interactive chess games. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.